Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is the HTML training continuation part. This is the second day we are talking about. So last day we talked about that how we can set up our basic HTML page, and this was our page where we are able to run with the live server. So now what we are going to do, remember that this image was not loaded right now properly, right? So what we are going to do here in this image, so I'm just explaining that what is the image tag. img tag is help to add the image, and src is that where you can put the definition or the link or source link where from where the image should be rendered. Previously I don't have a image. Right now I just install a image in my code folder. So now in this image file, I can put that the name dot png so that it can render. So just save that. You can see the image is started rendering here. Now what we can do, we can define the height equal to 200 and width equal to 200 so that it will be a small image. So let's save that. So you can see that the image is setting with their height and width. Okay, so that's way you can do a image width and height. Okay, similarly, you can see that this image tag doesn't have any end brace, right? Because image tag does not need any end tag, okay? Because in if you remember this thing, just to understand one thing, in the paragraph, in between paragraph, you need to put some text, right? Like whatever text will be there. But in this image tag or in this image, what we need, we don't need any so we don't need to put any text in between that image, right? So that's why we don't put the images, okay? So now we'll talk about that header. Sorry, now we'll talk about that paragraphs stuff. In the paragraph, what we did right now, that we put some text like this is a new web page. What we can do in this paragraph, we can put the different style. So normally in this paragraph, it is showing like this is the new web page. This is the normal text, right? So now what I am going to do in this paragraph, I am putting that B tag. B is used for bold. So if something you want to put in a bold in between, suppose I'm putting that this is a bold tag. So what will be happens, you can see the bold keyword is right now highlighting as a bold. This bold text is highlighting as a bold. So that's how in the paragraph you can put any text in a bold. Similarly, if you want to put something like that, this is a there is a one more tag called italic. So you can put that italics. So you can see the italics one is just now as a slash italic. Okay, so also you can type that this is a there is a one more tag called underline, so you can type the underline. Based on that, these paragraphs in the paragraph, based on your requirement or based on your criteria or situation, you can put whatever you needed. Okay, so you can put the bold, you can put the italics, you can put that underline. So wherever you require these types of tags, you can put that. Along with that, if you see that you need to put some gaps between this line and the images, you can put the BR tag. So BR tag will help you to put the line break. It's a line break. It will help you to put some caps line. Okay. So BR tag is useful for putting some extra spaces in between two of the elements. Okay. Now if I go back and then type that one more tag called HR tag is used for horizontal line. Okay. So let's say that you can see there is a cut or there is a separator between these two elements that, and it is clearly mentioned that is called HR tags. Okay. And then finally, if you think about that, I don't need some line, right? In normally in a code, how we can comment out one of the line. For that, what we have to do, uh, we have to write the code like that only. If you put some line, so that way we can do the comment line. So commented line, suppose you don't need such scenario in that case, or suppose you don't need any anything in that case, we can put the commented line. Okay, next thing we will talk about that inbuilt styling. So what is the inbuilt styling? Inbuilt styling is nothing but, suppose I am putting a text called this is a text for inbuilt styling. Okay, so this is a text, not simple text. I just put that inbuilt style. Now what I need, that I need the color mm, of this text, right? So how can we do that? So we can define the CSS very well and then do the styling on that. But in that case, I'm just going to tell you that inbuilt styling, how we can do the inbuilt styling. So first of all, you need to type the style, and inside the style, you need to define the attribute called color, and then you need to define that red. Okay, and then save that. You can see that the line or the text color is getting red. Okay, similarly you can define that font size. You can define that 20 pixel, so the text will be much bigger than the normal text. Okay, so that's where you can do the inbuilt styling. So you can do zoom text, you can do, there are a lot of attributes that help you. Okay, also you can do that background color, so you can define that aqua color and then save that. You can see that the paragraphs, the whole element background color is getting changed. So you can do some inbuilt styling to make these uh, element is much attractive. Okay, you can do that same steps in a CSS part, but it is a inbuilt steps. So next thing is that we will talk about that link. So if I want to show some links in my page, what we can do, we can show in a anchor tracks. Okay, so for that, what we have to do, we have to type a, in between a we need to type the text. So what I have, I'm trying to put that, click here and then save that. You can see this is not yet hyperlink. So what we have to do, the next step is that href, in bit href, what we have to do, we have here we need to define the href, and in this href you need to put your URL. So so you can see that whenever I am clicking here, it is opening that the Google page. What you have to do, that whenever I am clicking this page, it is opening on the same tab, right? But I want that to in a different tab. So for that, what we have to do, we have to put extra parameter for target, and then here we need to type that blank. So once I save as a blank, now if I click here, it is opening that Google page in a different tabs, right? So that way you can define that where these links should be open. It should be open in a different tab, or it should be open in that single tab only. Now let me tell you that whenever you build a HTML page and you it looks like that this is a HTML web page, what we can do, you can just right click of any of this HTML page or any of this web page, right click and do a inspect. Now in this element, if you click in this element and hover over any of this object, you can see the whole HTML code. The way you design all these HTML code, you can get that. Okay, So you can just check that any of this object, how it is defined, what is the code is written behind that in a server. You can see by just inspect or hover over on that. Okay, and then if you want to see the full code, right click and click the view page source. You will be able to see actual code is written for this particular web page. You will be able to see that. Okay, so that's how you can also get the actual HTML code. Now in this text, what I am going to do that in this body, what I am going to do that I am going to minimize these tabs right now, and then I am going to put this text here as a ID. So ID is nothing but so I just said that ID equal to P1. ID is nothing but each element can be defined a unique ID. So ID is used for to targeting the element for future purpose or for the reference purpose. Okay. So what happens to that? Like in this ID, what help you that it help you to identify any of these objects. So suppose I need to identify this object and make some modification from the background or make some modification from the backend code. I need the ID. Okay, so ID is used for that. So what I'm going to do that is I'm going to create one more link here. I'm just placing this to the top and then removing this one. And here what we are doing, we are putting hash and then P1. Okay, so if you remember in a long page, you will be able to see they have one text called click here to top, right? So I'm just creating that click here to top. So this is one of my HTML tag, and whenever I'll click that, it should land me to the top. Let's click that. You can see I'm landing to the top page. Okay, so that's why you can go to your top element. So what I have to do instead of this particular um, web page or any particular web page, you can define or you can put any of this ID, any of this element ID. You can by that you can directly jump to that particular ID. So that's it for today. We'll continue in our next sessions. Thank you very much. Have a great day.